Hi guys, welcome back to Infinite Possibilities, the podcast where we explore the lives of amazing people, their choices, challenges and opportunities. And today I have a very special guest, Hazel. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Whoa, so Hazel, what's your kind of 1 minute intro? What do you do?
Currently an assistant valuer,
Yeah.
specializing in commercial assets, industrial assets, at CBRE, and I'm a yoga teacher, wannabe.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's awesome. And you came straight from yoga training, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Awesome, sweet. So we want to know how she became that yoga teacher / property valuer, that interesting combo. So we can go right back to the childhood. So Hazel, what kind of kid were you like growing up?
Growing up, I've always been very adventurous.
Yeah.
Yes. That one kid that would jump from the cliff into the water.
That one kid that the parent always worries about.
Yeah, I was adventurous. I'm quite social, active. I like doing all sorts of extracurricular. Growing up,
You're very extroverted? No problems with meeting strangers or?
that I have always been on more of an extroverted scale. But interesting fact, I think everyone's personality kind of changes when
for sure.
as you grow up. I was more extroverted when I was younger.
Oh.
And now, becoming a bit more introverted now. Yeah. The MBTI test.
Yeah, what is your Myers-Briggs?
But I only did it 2 years ago, and
No, it's okay. I did mine like 3 years ago.
so 2 years ago I was a campaigner.
Yeah, ENFP.
ENFP.
That's me.
Yes.
And now you're INFP?
I'm still more on the extroverted side,
Okay.
but I guess what changed the most is probably ENFJ.
Oh, J is like the planning.
The protect. Yeah, so
the
a bit more planning now, I think.
Yeah,
which is
spontaneity.
really good. Yeah, quite important. But I think on the extrovert introverted scale, I've become a bit more introverted.
That's
just
fascinating.
learning to spend time with myself, which I find it quite interesting.
Yeah. Do you know what kind of sparked the change from extrovert to more introverted?
I think COVID played a big role. Yeah, before COVID happened, I was always out doing something, never at home. And during COVID, obviously, we had to stay at home a lot of the times. And I just learned to spend time with myself a lot more. And
And then you enjoyed it, and you're like, hey,
I actually
maybe
like
this
it now.
is better.
I'm like, I actually need some time with myself. And, it's quite fun to spend time alone.
Yeah.
But still, I really enjoy the social part.
That's the best, like, ambivert, right?
Yeah,
Can socialize, can be introverted.
I think it's great to find that balance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk to me more about school. What kind of kid were you like in the school environment? Were you the academic? Were you the sporty? The popular, maybe?
I have always been quite active at school, but I've transferred school many times through my life. I guess when I was younger, I was a bit more shy at school, especially changing from... So I had my primary school... Well, should go back to kindergarten. I was in Japan, Tokyo, because my mom was doing her architect study at Tokyo University at the time. So I spent my kindergarten years with my older brother in Tokyo. It was really fun, pretty much just picnic every day, and piano classes and dancing. It was a lot of fun. And I spoke Japanese then. And when I moved to China, started learning to speak Mandarin a lot more. And I guess as a kid, I didn't really remember how hard the transition was. I was kind of just go to school and speak Japanese to all the Chinese friends.
Wow.
And they'll be like, huh, what?
Yeah.
But that kind of I didn't really remember how I felt at the time. But that probably equipped me for many more school transfer in the future. And after kindergarten last year in China, I went to a primary school near the house, and we moved to another primary school. Primary school was fine, and I've just always been really active and you know.
What were your favorite sports to do?
Oh yeah, PE was always my favorite subject.
Wow.
So, and I probably wasn't the most academic child, but I think I always try to get my best shot at each subject. So I really like the more active ones like PE, and it's really like teacher dependent. If I like that teacher, I'll do so well. But yeah, I think I'm, and I don't learn things like super fast. So I think, but I just try to make sure I lay the foundation well, and I think I always do academically really well towards the end of school, not the start of it. So I remember my older brother, he's always academic, and he's
that's
really
a lot of
smart.
pressure as the younger sister, right?
Not so much. I feel like he's done really well, so then my parents were never really strict on those academic things. They know that we're trying our best, and my mom, she's often like, sending us to different extracurricular classes.
You must have been so busy. You said you did piano lessons, dance lessons.
Yeah, because growing up in China, it was quite competitive. All the kids were sent to like Olympic math tuition and writing like essay tuition just to boost their academic. But mom's always like sending us to dance, to piano and different things, and she's like, no, don't study too hard. But that was very interesting. I never went to a tuition class. I just
it sounds like you had a pretty good childhood. Filled with like lots of different extracurricular. Did you like piano? Did you love dance? Did you, or were you like, Mom, I just want to hang out with my friends or something?
Well, piano, when I was learning when I was little, I didn't really enjoy that much. I was a very active child, couldn't sit still. I was like to run around, so mom's like, okay, you can go dancing. And I stick to dancing ballet for many years. I remember, because my older brother, he stick to piano for many years, and he became really good. And in kind of like the Asian setting, it's like, almost all child have to learn like piano or a certain type of instrument, and you stick to finishing all your exams, play at a proficient level, something like that. But my mom, she just, once I told her like I don't really enjoy doing piano, she just stopped. And when my brother became really good, I asked my mom, why didn't you force me like all the other parents did? Otherwise I'll be so good.
You're too soft.
I asked my mom that, and I was half thinking like, I didn't hate piano. Like I could have stick to at least becoming good at it. And not too long after that, I came to like a bottleneck with ballet point shoes. I didn't enjoy it that much. I was practicing quite often. I think that was high school years, and I came to the point that I was kind of wanting to give up, and I told my mom like, ballet is getting really hard. Like I enjoy dancing, but it's getting a little too much. And my mom, she brought up the piano story. She's like, do you want me to force you to continue this time?
So cute.
And I just paused and I thought for a few minutes, and I was like, I think I'll stick to it this time. So that was parenting well done, really well done.
But I love how she gives you a lot of autonomy, and then she really
and she didn't force me either.
And then you force yourself, which is like an even stronger motivation than any kind of extent.
And I'm really glad I just continued.
Do you still speak Japanese, by the way?
Probably only konnichiwa. Oyasumi nasai. Only a few words. My older brother, he's currently working in Japan.
That's so good.
Yeah, he's got a good. By the time I left Japan, during kindergarten, I was 5 years old. My older brother was 7 years old.
So you got a better foundation.
He could remember quite a bit of it, and I just forgot everything. So that's one of the regrets in life, that I didn't continue to speak Japanese.
I mean, you can pick it up.
That's what everyone says, but now I try to like repeat after sentence, and I sound completely like a foreigner.
I'm sure it's fine. And so you said when you started changing schools in your earlier years, you don't really have much of a recollection. But later, when you kept on changing schools, was that something hard for you? Were you like, oh, have to go and make new friends, start a new school, or did you enjoy the different transitions after?
I actually really welcome and enjoy changes in life. Yeah, it's always sad to leave good friends I have.
Yeah.
But I've always been that kid, you know, being really, really excited the day before school to the point that I can't sleep. I'm like, oh, I can meet new friends. And
So cute.
I wasn't really worried about not meeting new friends and things like that. And I always find people around me are quite amazing and very, very sweet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, but I think growing up, I was always an agreeing child. Like my parents always find me really obedient. I never had any rebellious. A little bit, yeah. So I think that's something I have been working on, like learning to say no growing up. I think it's very important.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then, so when you were younger and you're sort of thinking about the future, what was kind of going through your mind in terms of careers, if anything? Ballet teacher, come on.
I never thought of going professionally into ballet. It was just kind of hobby. I liked the feeling of, stretching, dancing.
Yeah, movement.
And it feels elegant, and I like that. I like being active. In terms of career, I never really had a strong drive to become anything professionally.
Yeah.
I just had areas that I was interested in, like economic. That's more of the finance side, and I was also interested in psychology. Yeah, a lot of the podcasts I listen to is like on those topics.
Yeah, that's so cool. And what about in terms of your parents? Did they have a vision of what they wanted Hazel to be?
They never really enforced anything or visualized me becoming anything, but I think when I picked my major and degree for study, my mom and dad, they influenced me quite a lot in making those decisions, because I think probably because I didn't have a really strong will in taking anything specifically. So we kind of had the conversation and discussions about, what could have more opportunities and growth.
Pro and con analysis.
Yeah, like doing a SWOT analysis and be like different careers and
Nah, that's awesome. I love how it's like very collaborative.
Yes, I think at one point, because my older brother was doing really well academically, so my dad considered to, like talk him into doing medicines and become a doctor, but he's afraid of blood. Like he faints when he sees blood. So never after that my parents try to enforce anything at all.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what is he doing now?
He's in IT.
IT.
Yeah, he does. I always like, what does he do?
Good question.
He is currently working in Japan, in Tokyo, for a firm that does. I think he does like software engineering, and they're collaborating with Samsung for this. My brother explained to me before, but
go.
I'm trying to translate it in English. It's like the little chip for
microchip kind of thing.
Microchip for I don't know how to describe it. It's like when you tilt your phone in certain angles, or like it can detect the motion, the movement of your device, and that could, I think, go into many areas in application. But he does a lot more that I can't really explain. But he did electrical, or triple E, electrical
engineering,
and electronics engineering.
Megatronics.
Electronic and
electricity. Something like that. Don't worry, I'm not very
technical. Cut that bit out. I love my brother. I don't understand what he does.
No, that's fair enough, and it's kind of a different field, anyways. So
but he's doing amazing. He
didn't
really
become a doctor, but became an IT guy.
Yeah, so. He really enjoys what he does. He He works overtime so much.
Yeah, bless you. Get some sleep if you're watching this podcast.
Yes.
Sounds good. And so tell me about the move to Australia. So why did you choose Australia? Because you went to uni in Australia, yeah?
Yes. We met
That's
in
how we
uni
met
year
in the
1.
first year.
He came to my share house.
I know, right? For the sake of group assignments. Shout out to Mary if you're listening.
Ooh.
Maybe we should catch up.
And then we just end up having like Asian grocery dumplings.
Yeah, we did. And I ate so much at that time.
I
felt
remember.
really bad. I like finished her food, so yeah, maybe I owe you some dumplings now.
Hopefully she's listening to this.
Yeah, she will if you send it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why Australia? Why not go to another country? Why not go to America? Popular.
Yeah, so pretty simple. My dad, he is, I guess, more traditional, and he actually didn't want me to go too far away from home.
Yeah.
I'm from Malaysia, by the way,
Yeah.
Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
So then my mom, she wants me to study somewhere speaks English, like a English environment, which can be really anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So then with dad and mom's
Finding that compromise.
yeah, just with the Venn diagram, it kind of just narrowed down the choices to Hong Kong and Australia.
Yeah.
Which I personally don't really find much difference once I move overseas, if it's like America or Australia. I will still find time to call them. There's the time difference, but I guess it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But I guess in Dad's mind, that I'm closer to him if I'm in Australia or Hong Kong or Singapore. So I did apply for universities in Hong Kong and Australia, got offers from both sides, and end up just deciding to come to Queensland. I think we considered the weather, cost of living, and the major that I applied in Queensland. I think I also applied for Melbourne U, but that was in tourism and hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
Which was also a pretty interesting area of study,
I
I
can totally
think.
imagine you doing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Second career. Yeah, that's cool. So tell me, why did you end up studying Bachelor of Business Management, majoring in real estate development? What's that SWOT analysis look like for Hazel?
I think the consideration goes into, because so in high school we had art and science stream, so we didn't have courses that we can choose from. It's in my high school, if you go for art stream, you study all the arts like history, geography, science all combined, chemistry, bio, and physics all in one subject. So that's kind of like a condensed version of all 3 courses. And then we do economic bookkeeping, which is literally like accounting, but you write everything out, all the credit, debit, and then account.
Receivables.
Yes. So long gone. Like, and if you do science subjects, it's obviously all the science subjects. You go deeper into it, like physics on its own and everything else on its own. So I did art stream. So that kind of just, for me, when I choose majors or areas of study in uni, I was looking more towards like the finance and business side of it, which, because I would enjoy working with people more than just something really technical. So we looked into the business side, and accounting wasn't really something I'm passionate about. It's very repetitive, and we looked into other options. I think Mom, she really had a longer term plan in her mind. She actually went through like the degrees that get you to stay in Australia as a permanent residency.
Yeah, that's
at the
a very
time.
key consideration.
Yeah. So she had a look. She was like, oh, just in case if Hazel really enjoys being in Australia and wants to stay, maybe we can find her something that she'll be interested and could get her to stay in Australia. So we looked at all the options, and I think real estate was something that kind of spiked my interest. Because Dad, he invested a little bit in real estate, and I think working in a business setting, I could also find more common with my dad, because growing up I've always been really close with my mom, but dad, I'm kind of like most of the time if I call him, I just listen. Like I don't really talk much. Yeah.
I talk to mom.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah. But that's kind of awesome, sort of entering dad's world. Yeah. And I guess he was super supportive. He's like, yeah, Hazel, I've done a bit of investing. Like, I encourage you. Real estate. So he must have been quite supportive.
Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome. And so what was it like studying real estate at UQ? What should one expect?
Well, unfortunately, the major doesn't exist anymore at UQ. They took it down the list in, I think it was the last 2 batches.
Wow,
so in 2022 would be the last batch. Oh, 2020 was the last intake. Because I think the cohort was getting a bit small, because it's very niche. People study it either to get certified to become a valuer, which is what I'm doing right now, or you go into development space, like property development. But then with real estate development major, you kind of have to do all the courses that's set in the major. You can't do any electives. Because to become a property valuer, you have to do specific courses according to Australian property institutions criteria. So then they kind of just, currently UQ provides electives in those courses, teaching you cash flows and valuation techniques. So you can still do those courses if you're interested in real estate related jobs, which I think would be also pretty good practice. But now pretty much all the graduates from property degree are from QUT.
Oh,
yeah, they kept. I think
shout out
it's
to QUT.
Yes. Economic and property and economics. So they incorporate more of the business and real estate together.
Oh, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And how did you find studying of property? How was your degree? Did you enjoy it?
It was. I enjoy uni so much, but not so much academically. I was just kind of just learning along. But what I learned in uni, especially within the degree, was very theory based. There wasn't too much of the finance application or the cash flow, or I think I learned most of the stuff on the job. But being in uni is just gaining the connection and exploring kind of what your area of interest is.
That's awesome. And another thing is, I pretty much saw you at every event at uni. You were one of those super proactive. Like, I think that's pretty much how me and you became friends. We just saw each other enough that we started saying hi to each other.
Pretty much. I'm like, I've seen this girl a couple times.
So, like, you know, what kind of extracurricular did you do at UQ?
I remember market day. That was like, when I went to market, I was like mind blown. There's so many interesting freebies. So many interesting clubs, like Harry Potter clubs, Pokemon clubs. It's so niche. You can go down the rabbit hole. But what did I sign up in year 1? I was in UQ cheerleading.
Oh yeah, you were. I remember.
It wasn't something that I had done in Malaysia. Oh, I actually did a bit of cheerleading in Malaysia, but I think the year before I signed up for the school club in cheerleading, there was an incident. There was an accident happened to a student. So they kind of just, in the year that I joined cheerleading, it was more like a dancing club. They didn't do any of the stunts. Because they want to avoid any of those events from happening. So I was like, gotta round my cheerleading dream. So I joined UQ cheerleading. It was really fun. Met some really cool friends, but I mainly wanted to learn to do all the stunts, like tumbling.
The dangerous
stuff. They didn't teach a lot of that, so I was so a little bit. But it was fun. It was a great experience. I also joined UQ Finance, like FMAA. They host quite a lot of networking opportunities, and they invite people from banks and finance institutions to come in and deliver a speech. And it was pretty good just to seek out for job opportunities. What else did I do? Actually, I really enjoy being in UQ Water Sports and Wakeboarding Club. So good. We actually have done wakeboarding in Brisbane River a lot, but I only discovered the club after I graduated.
Oh,
yeah, and I had to pay double for everything. No
Oh,
more
that
student discount,
sucks.
but I really, really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple other clubs, but yeah, I think UQ wakeboarding was really, really fun.
Cool.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoyed and recommend everyone who didn't mind drinking UQ, UQ Lake, well, not UQ Lake, but Brisbane River water to give it a go.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, and then tell me more about how do you sort of make new friends? Because I feel like you're very good at that, and especially coming to a new country, I feel like a lot of international students, like we're quite shy, but I see you just everywhere. You know, you're just making friends. So like, do you have any hacks, or how do you do it? Are you nervous?
Depends on the setting, I guess. I think I'm always like really excited to meet new friends, but nervous and excitement,
together.
I think they are almost the same thing because you
Yeah.
get the same physical reaction when
Correct.
you're nervous or when you're excited. Like your heart beats, picks
Palms
up,
sweaty.
and then palms get sweaty. But if you could think, if you could think of the nervousness as I'm so excited to do this, that
Yeah.
almost really help you to do it.
Yeah.
And if you really are overly nervous, maybe take a couple deep breaths.
Yeah.
If yoga come in place, but taking deep breath instantly lower your heart rate, and that equips you to calm yourself down a little bit. But I think being curious about just anything really helps. I think most of the time I'm really curious about what's happening to everyone's life, and if I'm seeing this person at this event, like, oh, what brought you here, or like, what's your experience? And I think remaining curiosity really helps you to, because people can tell that people will feel appreciated when you're curious about their stories.
Yeah, people love
as much
talking
as
about
people
themselves.
love to listen.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to share as well, and they feel appreciated when they're listened to.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Curiosity can kill your nerves, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And also kind of curious, what was it like, finding internships, trying to get a job? Can you sort of share a bit about your journey? Because I know a lot of my international friends
I
have
definitely
struggled with
stumbled
it.
and fall so
Yeah.
many times. And yeah, I think even getting this job currently, working at CBRE, I think it was like,
Good luck.
yeah, it was so much good luck. Like I literally I applied for this job thinking I could practice my interviews because I was very bad at them.
Yeah.
I feel like. I think I was just kind of like, oh, CBRE is a great company and this is a great position. And I actually applied for the same role the year before I got in, and I didn't even hear back from them at all.
Yeah.
But I think being really proactive and seek out for opportunity, because I think a lot of time there's a gap between the employers and the and like people who wanting to get a job. I think a lot of them are looking for talent, and a lot of talent are out there, like crying out loud, and trying to get just you need that bridge to connect the two. But what really, for someone who's keen to find a job in any industry, really, you wanna be really proactive and almost to the point that you're annoying.
Yeah.
That you really, really want this job, and when people see how much you want this, they'll give you opportunities. Yeah. So I think I attend a lot of networking, and just for me, when I'm looking for a job, I pretty much tell everyone. I'll be like, oh, I'm looking for a job. I apply for this much, and if people around you are aware you're looking for a certain job in certain area, when they have an opportunity come up, they think of you instantly.
Yeah.
And like it's really about who you know, and when people see that you're keen and you show a good work ethic, I think it doesn't even have to be something you're already good at. People will give you a chance.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yes, and before this, let's talk about something exciting that you did. The Swiss pastry chef. I'd like to know more.
Shout out to Aurora, who again fulfilled my childhood dream. I remember, I don't know if you watched this. There's an anime about like mini pastry chefs, and they have their little elves, and they'll like make magic and everything. So I think I watched that when I was in primary school, and my best friend and I, we like, go and said we're gonna become pastry chefs together in the future.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm not in touch with her anymore.
Don't, maybe this video will find her. Please.
But yeah, my best friend Aurora, she's currently working at W Hotel in Melbourne, and I think it was after one of my job in education field, I was again looking for valuation jobs, and I caught up with Aurora. At the time, we weren't best friends; we were just good friends. Average. And I caught up with her and again told her about me looking for a job, and she was like, "Oh, we are short of stuff in our kitchen. Do you want to come?" And again, this is me, not really. I'm just appreciating all the opportunities I can get. Like who knows what you can stumble upon, right? So I just like I would love to. Like I've only worked as a floor staff in restaurants and stuff, but I've never really worked in a kitchen, and that sounds really cool. I just thought I never will have the opportunity to be offered a role like that. And she's like, "Oh, you can do a bit of mix, a bit of floor stuff, and we'll also teach you how to make pastries." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, sounds good.
So that was really amazing. Learned to make crepe cakes, choux pastries, and lots of amazing stuff. And I definitely ate too much sugar. Because I would just try everything that I would make out of a kitchen.
For educational purposes.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you still make yourself desserts at home?
Not that much anymore. Like I'm trying to watch my sugar intake. I can get a bit crazy.
Sounds good. Also want to know, how did you get into yoga? Hello, yoga teacher here.
To be honest, I haven't really done yoga for a long time, but transition from a dance background made everything a lot easier. Like I had the flexibility. Balance wasn't that great, so I think throughout the practice, at the time of me practicing yoga, my balance really increased a lot, and strength as well. I think I started doing yoga again. Mom do a bit of yoga, following just video. She didn't go to classes, but she would tell me how she benefits from doing yoga. She's like, I can see you being a yoga instructor. I'm like, oh, really?
Wow.
And again, I think I just did a few, just follow YouTube and did some yoga. And at the time I was just thinking, this is kind of nice and chill. But I also enjoy doing so many other stuff wakeboarding, skateboarding, running, swimming, everything. So I didn't really think about deep diving into yoga. But when COVID hit, you have very little space to yourself. You can't really go out onto the ocean, onto the river, or just go for a run or anything. So I kind of just took out my yoga mat and then just wipe the dust clean. I'll be like, okay, I'll do a bit of practice. And I actually find that really helps to tune into my body and my breath. It's almost like a moving meditation, and it actually
one
is
breath, one movement.
One breath, one movement, and it calms your mind and it connects your body, your mind and body. So I find that really almost therapeutic to me.
That's awesome.
So Mom encouraged me to, explore more. And I was like, sure, hell yeah, I would love to do that.
But that's awesome. I love how you're just kind of just open to opportunities, open to different things. That's awesome. Cool. Also want to talk to you about what's a day in the life of a CBRE assistant valuer. What exactly do you do?
I rock up to work, sometimes a bit late, but my team's got really, my team's really chill and everyone's very friendly. We'll get to work and we'll have a team coffee run. And I hadn't really drink much coffee when I first started this job. Even now, my bosses will sometimes make fun of me and say, "Oh, Hazel, no coffee at all today." But I would sometimes tag along for just a stroll, to the coffee shops and have a little chat with my colleagues. And then we make it back to the office. By then, it'll probably be 9 o'clock. And we'll start just working on our reports. A lot of the time, it's sitting at desk, writing reports. And we also every time we get a new job, we go on site to inspect the property and take photos around the property, which will be included in the reports. So really when it comes down to work, also on top of that, we need to collect market evidence of sales and leasing transactions, just to support our numbers in the report. So we'll be calling agents quite often. So it kind of helps you it trains you to be better on the phone and try to get information and get someone to help you. And a lot of the time you've never met them. So how would you talk so that they would want to offer you something they have, but I'd always offer like, oh, can I help you with can I give you any information? Or if you ever need anything, just give me a buzz. But I feel like a lot of time, especially initially, I don't know them personally. I feel like I'm always asking for something without giving them anything in return. And I was like, oh.
Feel a bit bad.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad. I really, really want to help them. But I think you come across, most of the time, people are quite nice and would offer to help you. Sometimes you come across some agents are mean, but you can also deal with it. You just
it's very much like sales.
And sometimes we work for the agents when they sell a property, and when property sales happens, like the purchaser will go and get a loan from the bank, and bank will send us job, and then we'll again value the property, and if we value property at the sale price that the agent's selling, then the deal can be done. If we value it, say, below the sale price, sometimes the deal won't get it through because the purchaser will think, oh, the property isn't actually worth this much, or like I can't get the amount of loan I wanted because bank gave money depending on how much we value.
Oh, a very important job.
So if we come across mean agents and we're actually helping them to do the job, we're like try to get all the information we can. But that's just like something pretty interesting that happens in the industry. But I think most of the time we help each other out, so it's really good.
It's good. Yeah, and sort of what are the pros and cons about the job?
Pros and cons. I'll start with the cons.
Nice.
I personally, my eyes get really strained. I can't stare at screens for too long. So
it's very taxing on the body just to...
I always go for a water break. Go to the bathroom. But I think it's just a lot of sitting down and staring at screens. But there's so much more pros that come with it. It's a really great... the team I'm working in is really great. Everyone's very supportive. Very fun as well. My bosses, they crack jokes all the time. Sometimes to the point I'm like, oh, I gotta just put my earphone in, otherwise it's getting too distracting. But the flexibility as well. So we need to do on-site inspections, but we also get the options to work from home quite often if you have to. But I think it's great to come in and just...
And socialize.
Socialize in the team culture, just grabbing coffee with everyone, and being in helps you to, like, the conversation a lot of time help you to understand what's going on in the market, or just a bit of office gossips. Yes. What else? I think being a valuer, this role offers stability, because obviously being an agent, you'll have market like fluctuating quite a bit. When it's at the peak of market, you might be able to make a lot of commissions and deals, but when it's downturn, sometimes you work for months and nothing really comes through. But being a valuer, I think probably with the amount of valuers in the market, there's always jobs for us, and doesn't matter if the real estate market is doing well or bad. People always want to know how much their property is worth.
Yeah.
So we'll never run out of job. Like if it's a bad market, people are like, oh, have my property depreciated a lot in value, and they'll want to get a job done. So we actually did really well in like COVID. Yeah.
Nah, that's good to hear. Love that stability. Asian parents love that stability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sounds good.
Mom, you proud of me?
Yeah, always. Sounds good. So we're nearly at the end of the podcast. Those deep, meaningful questions that you're dreading. So yeah, what do you think the meaning of life is for you, Hazel?
Well, meaning of life, that's very deep. I think for me, personally, I think it can have a vastly different meaning for everyone. Yeah. But for me, it really comes down to just little things in life. Like if you can find joy in little things you do, or spending time with people you love. And I guess for me, it's constantly learning and loving.
Yeah.
If I have something to drive me, say if I'm trying to master a yoga pose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this is probably my meaning of life currently. I want to master this. Like I have something I want to strive towards. Or having a group of supportive friends and with your family, like you want to continue to give more to them, and just seeing them, having them around you, and you think that's the biggest gift and joy in life. And for me, I really love kids, so I think probably in the future, hopefully, if I could see like a little cute creature that so just seeing a beautiful creature growing up and seeing the changes in them, that would actually just keep the lights in me, I think. Yeah,
it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Probably how your mum felt about you growing up. Yeah. And so if you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do differently about your life?
There are so many things I can do. I definitely want to travel. I want to travel a lot. I want to travel with my parents. I want to, if I can, I really want to have my parents near me, especially my mom. And if I don't have to worry financially, I will probably, I still want to work, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be bored.
I want to have, you got to have that balance, baby. Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably try to, there's another dream job of mine. I really want to be a Disney parade dancer for maybe a year or two long.
Yeah.
I just thought that would be such a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll just, be at Disneyland anytime soon if I win the lottery.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. And the final question is, what is an ideal day in the life for you? It can be work related, it can be non-work related.
Does it depend on the current situation?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to probably having that balance of work and life. So I really would like to actually find waking up in the morning for a yoga sesh really stimulate your dopamine systems. Like after that feels so good. Except waking up the waking up early part is so hard. So ideal life, I'll wake up at 5 without feeling dreadful, and I'll rock up to yoga, and I'll just get stuck in work, and have a little catch up at lunch, and not working overtime. Clocking off on time. That would be really nice, and go home and maybe cook dinner.
Yum. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty much at the end of the podcast, Hazel. Thank you.
Time flies by.
Yeah, it does. And then we can have dinner, so I'm excited. But thank you so much, and I really love just listening to your story. And it's so funny that I met you so many years ago, and then we catch up again, and then now we get a job. And then, Yeah, so that's good. So you want to say bye to the podcast?
Bye.